Parkcast, the UK's original theme park podcast.
A very warm welcome back to Parkcast, Park fans. I'm Bex, and if you are new around here, we are a podcast for theme park fans, and we're here almost weekly. We try and be here weekly with your weekly dose of theme park nerdy chit-chat. Now, this week, I am joined for the first time ever. We're on to season 4 of Parkcast, and this has never happened before, but I am joined by my husband,
Hello.
Nick.
Is it the first time?
Yes.
Oh.
I'd hope you would remember if you'd been on before.
Sure, I've provided technical assistance somewhere.
Not sure.
Maybe.
But you are here this week for a good reason, because we are going to be talking about Six Flags Qiddiya City, which is a park that we visited together, and actually that you visited twice now. You went once without me, and then we went once as a family. So as it's a new park and there's a lot of interest in it, I thought that it would be interesting to do an episode where we give you the full lowdown on our experience. As you know by now, if you have listened to Parkcast a lot, I do not mince my words. If I don't like something, I'm going to tell you I don't like it and why I don't like it. But if I do like something, I'll tell you about that as well. So, without further ado, let's chat about Six Flags Qiddiya City. Now, we were very excited about this park because about 5 years ago, we got told we were going to be spending quite a bit of time in Saudi. We were going to be living here for a few years as part of your job. And when that news broke, there was no theme park in Saudi. So as you can imagine, not ideal for a theme park fan. But obviously, very quickly, word came out that this theme park was being built. There was a lot of scepticism over whether it would be built. But over time, it was quite obvious that it was going to happen. And actually, I had Neil from the park, he's the Vice President of Operations over there, on Parkcast last year. And if you haven't listened to that episode, it is well worth going and listening to. He was excellent and gave us a lot of insight into the park. And he committed to me, he said, we are definitely going to open in 2025. And as we know, they did, albeit on the 31st of December. It was literally by the skin of their teeth. But it was 2025, so I can't fault them on that one.
To their word.
You went over a couple of days later.
Yeah.
You weren't able to go for opening day because work, boring.
Always gets in the way.
Yeah. And you had a great time. I was still at home in the UK, I wasn't able to go, but you were filling me in, and I was living vicariously through your photos and videos. Which
the takeover?
Yeah, you took over my Instagram. You took over the Parkcast.
I think people loved that more than your channel.
Well, there was a few people who did enjoy it, but I mean, I just question their taste, to be honest.
Well, I question yours.
But you can still go and see those highlights on the Instagram page. If you don't follow us already, do go and find us over there. And obviously, as soon as I landed back in Saudi, the first thing I wanted to do was go and visit this theme park. So that is what we did. And I think, first of all, let's chat about how much it cost us, because that's always an interesting one. And you were the holder of the tickets. So how much was it?
So, to be fair, it wasn't that bad. I wouldn't say it's an expensive park. So the day tickets are, for an adult, 450 Saudi riyals. For pounds, that kind of converts to about £90 for a ticket.
See, I think that is expensive.
See, for what you get, though, if you look at the park and you compare it to places like Epic, it's not too bad.
Yeah, if you compare it to a Disney or Universal park, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But we are used to UK prices. We're used to 25 quid entry at Merlin.
Yeah, but look what you get.
yeah, exactly. Even so, like Porton's Park, about 60 quid. Europa Park, 60, 65 quid. So it is on the more expensive side, I would say, as a theme park fan. But like you say, it's what you get for it. Our daughter was slightly cheaper.
Yeah, so she's 350 riyals, so about £70 for a child.
And she's
ticket.
4.
Yeah.
I think under threes and under are free. So if you've got a very young one, they're free. And we also decided to go for the fast passes as well, which they basically doubled the entry cost, didn't they?
Yeah, so typical fast pass, like that basically doubles, like she said, not for the child, but they're all the same adult price. So they're about, again, another 450 riyals on top, even for a child fast pass as well.
Yeah, and we did debate if we needed A, the fast passes at all, and B, the fast passes for her. So I think, in summary, from what we found on the day that we visited, we could have easily done it without fast passes.
Yeah, absolutely. I wholly agree, especially for the child stuff. The queues are tiny as well. And we went on a Friday, didn't we?
Yeah.
So that's Saudi weekend. So you'd expect it to be bigger. But actually, the queues were really, really fine. Falcons being probably the biggest queue. But again, I'd reiterate, I don't think we'd buy the fast passes again, especially for Emmy.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously you never know. And there will be busy times. I know that some people from the UK went in what was a Saudi half-term week, and it was quite a bit busier then. So just as you would do for any theme park, I think check the holidays when you are booking your tickets. But generally, at the moment, it doesn't seem to be a park where you need a fast pass. They've started doing as well one-shot fast tracks. So you could just get a one-shot for Falcons, which is obviously a lot cheaper. But it means that you will get that one quick entry ride on it. We had the unlimited ones. And yeah, for most rides, it just literally made no difference at all. For Falcons, we did get on it a bit quicker, but at the end of the night, it was on a very short queue anyway. We will talk more about Falcons towards the end of this episode, because I know that's the big thing, and we've done quite a bit about it online. Yeah, but we will end up there. We'll end up with the big one. So before that, there are obviously some other gigantic coasters at this theme park, which everyone's eagerly awaiting a lot of feedback on. I'm going to start with Iron Rattler.
I thought you were going to say Falcons then. Get straight into it.
I'm going to start with Iron Rattler, which is the Vekoma tilt coaster. Now, obviously, we saw Siren's Curse open at Cedar Point. And this was the coaster that I think I said to you, I'm not sure I'm going to do it.
You were terrified. You were absolutely terrified.
Did not want to do it.
How is a coaster nerd terrified of heights? I still can't comprehend that.
That's the thing. I am really, really scared of heights. And it was the thought of the track without anything stopping you physically going off the end. A bit like the ride that's over on the tower in Las Vegas. Like, I would never do that either. So there was that sort of mental block. I know it's never going to go off the end. Like, realistically, my brain knows that, but at the same time,
it doesn't help them when you're rolling towards the end in the front seat and all you've got is a little stopper at the bottom.
That's
to
the thing.
Stop the car.
Psychologically, it's a weird position to be in. But I also knew the thing that was going to freak me out the most was the tilt. So being on the coaster train whilst the track is doing a full 90 degrees. Up to vertical, and it's fully vertical. It's not Oblivion 97.8 or whatever it is.
It's brilliant.
It is
brilliant.
very, very vertical. Now, you loved it because you're not weirdly scared of heights like me.
No, it would be a bit weird if I was scared of heights.
Yeah, no. If you don't know, by the way, we have talked about this online quite a lot.
Have I told you? If I don't, I'll tell
yeah,
you
absolutely classic. But Nick's a fighter pilot, so we've done a lot of stuff online on our social pages about G-forces and things like that on roller coasters. But yes, he's not scared of heights and he's not scared of G-forces because of that. The tilt has the potential to be a gimmick, but actually I don't think it is.
No, not at all.
I think it is quite integral to the thrill of that coaster.
Yeah, definitely. It builds up that suspense, that kind of up the lift hill and then into the tilt as well. And because of how long the tilt takes, it just builds that suspense as well. And because of the height of it, you get to... Unlike you, whose eyes closed, I'm terrified. You actually get to see a lot of the park, which is really great as well, especially at night with all the lights lit up.
It's in a great position to get a full, not 360, but 180 sort of left to right view of the park. And at night, it is beautiful, but I was too busy absolutely losing my mind to fully appreciate it. Now, when it actually releases you after what feels like eternity, by the way, it's a brilliant coaster.
That's amazing.
After that, it's not. This is the thing with it. It's not a one-trick pony. It's not an Oblivion. It's not even a Baron. There's so much more to it than that. So you get released, you go down and immediately up into a good couple of seconds of hang time in an inversion.
Yeah.
And it's great. You feel like, I'm just hanging here. When am I going to get out of this inversion? And then there's loads of other... all the elements come thick and fast after that. I don't know how many times I actually inverted, but it felt like quite a lot.
And it's super smooth. So
smooth.
It's so silky smooth. And you've got so many inversions, so many elements. You've got a lot of proximity as well to other stuff, which is great, especially at night, because it makes you feel like you're going really quick.
I kept thinking, oh, this is the end, and then it just carried on.
Yeah, it's a full coaster after the gimmick that is the drop.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Yeah, it is really, really good in that sense. I've said before, if I could get on it at the point of the tilt and at the release, then I would just do that.
A little bit tricky, I think.
Yeah, but, if I could, then I would. But yeah, a great coaster. And actually, can I just point out the theming on that? The theming, in the station is brilliant. And you don't really see it because you do have to leave all your cameras and things like that in lockers. We did take on our chest-mounted GoPro. We had some permission to do some filming. So I did manage to get a little bit of that footage. But the station's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, really well themed. And the trains themselves. Fantastically themed.
The train looks beautiful. Reminds me of Stardust, but again, that kind of corkscrew on the front. But it looks,
the corkscrew's really cool. Like it
amazing.
properly spins around, and it's all lit up. The whole coaster's lit up beautifully. But the thing I want to say is, what you don't get from the videos is the scale of it.
Yeah.
It's huge. You're standing underneath it at the bottom. It looks twice the height of Oblivion. Like, it is crazy tall.
I think that could be the takeaway for the entire park. You just don't get the idea of the scale with anything. Everything's massive. Everything's huge.
Yeah. But yeah, great. Really enjoyed it. Another major coaster at the park, of course, is Spitfire. Now, this is a launch coaster with this. So the element they're going for on this is the world's tallest inversion. You, obviously, being a fight pilot, drawn to a roller coaster called Spitfire.
Absolutely.
And I think you weren't actually expecting that much from it, were you?
No.
But you were pleasantly surprised.
No, I thought it was a great little coaster, to the point where when I went on my own, I went on it a few times because I was like, this is brilliant. Quite short. I think for those that have seen POVs, you realise that it's got three triple launch and then into the inversion, and then you're pretty much done.
That's it, yeah.
But for that time, it's great. I wish it could be longer, but then I think everyone would say that about most coasters. They enjoy it. There's some good amount of G on it as well, especially when you come down the spike for that third time. I think I recall hitting, my watch was saying top end of 4, or if not even 5G.
I think it was 5G.
It's like, that's brilliant.
Which you wouldn't expect on it.
No.
It looks really sort of inconspicuous. It's right next to the Camelback for Falcons, so it looks tiny. But if it was in any other theme park, I mean, it would look huge.
Alton Towers would have binned it for the fact that it's well above their tree line.
The ropers would be going crazy over that one. You also get, unexpectedly, quite a bit of airtime over the little bunny hop before the inversion, which, again, looks like nothing, but it's a proper out-of-your-seat moment. Yeah. Really, really good. Really enjoyed it. Again, beautiful trains. Yeah. Really nicely themed Spitfire trains. There was absolutely no queue at all.
No.
When we went on it.
No, I think most times that I've been there, 5 minutes, I think, was quoted. And when you're on the train, most of it was empty because obviously other people are elsewhere in the park.
The Falcons queue, mostly.
Yeah, exactly. And even that wasn't that large, even when Spitfire was empty.
And it's on one train, so it's not like the capacity on it isn't huge, but it was great. Like, there was no queue for it. Again, you didn't need that fast pass there, and
it fits into the whole area as well. You'd think like Spitfire fighter aircraft, and it doesn't really sit if you think about its name, but actually if you look at the area, it's kind of this kind of old India type area, which is kind of colonial England, I would say, probably back then. But it just fits and it works, and the theming around the area and how it sits in that area is lovely, and how it's lit at night as well is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, they've really thought about the lighting in this whole park. Because it doesn't open till 4, you get about an hour and a half to 2 hours of daylight. And that's going to be the same all year round, by the way. Saudi doesn't have, like, fluctuations in time. And you don't, like, lose hours or gain hours. You don't put the clocks back. So it will always be, if the opening hours stay as they are, it will always be a nighttime park. I know some people said, in the summer we'll get some more like daytime riding. You won't, and not unless they start opening earlier, which they might do. But
might see about 3 hours of daylight in the summer.
But a Riyadh summer.
Warm.
That's going to be hot.
Yeah.
Okay, on to Colossus. Now,
controversial.
I have beef with Colossus, and it's really difficult because I was super excited about this ride, and I love Woodies. I absolutely love Woodies. I love the old Woodies. Grand National, everyone who goes on about it being rough, I am not in that club. I love it. I think it's part of the experience. So obviously, this Woody being built by GCI, I was very excited about. I'd seen the POVs of it, and I was like, that looks intense and crazy and fast. And it is non-stop. Again, some beautiful theming on it, which you wouldn't expect. You've probably seen the lighting on it, which is very like 1920s, 1930s American amusement park with the chaser lights running along it. There's theme music, which also matches that as well. Like, it looks the part. Again, doesn't look massive because it's right next to Falcons. And it's relentless. Like, I literally couldn't catch a breath on it. I was told to go and sit in the back row, so I did. But we do have to talk about the trains, which now, like, you're not a theme park nerd.
No.
And I asked you after your first ride, I was like, what about the trains?
The train didn't even register in my mind. I'm like, this roller coaster is Wodan, the Saudi version of Wodan, to be fair, which again is my favourite Woody in the world, obviously at Europa Park. But I just hadn't clocked the trains being a problem. And actually, I don't know if it's my short legs, because I have got quite short legs. I didn't find an issue with the restraint or the seat.
See, I'd heard about the restraints and I said, I'm going to go in with an open mind and surely it can't be that bad. For me, I did find it that bad. I have very long legs, so it could just be that, but they're not chunky legs. It's not something that I struggle with, is thick thighs, but I did find the metal bar in between my legs super uncomfortable, like to the point where it was distractingly uncomfortable. I'm not sure why they have those trains rather than the standard trains. I feel like there must be a reason, because I don't know why you would deviate from something that works. I think even if that metal bar so if you haven't seen the trains, you're sort of pinned in by your legs. Your top half is totally free. But your legs are like bolted down. The trains themselves sit quite low around you. You're not sort of bucketed in like you would be on Woden or Wicker Man. But yeah, you are properly like held in by your legs, but your top half is totally free, like to rock around. But it's the way that your legs are pinned in. I just found it a bit like, I knew I was going to have a bruise afterwards. And I do bruise easily. You bruise
if the wind changes, to be fair.
But I just knew, and I was like, I'd be enjoying this so much more if it was in a standard train.
But to be fair, the layout of the train, if you're on the front row, and I would say it's probably a back row coaster, but the front row, because the train is so low, you feel like you're just on the front of an Acme rocket, because you've got nothing in front of you, and you're just being pushed around this track, and you're just being relentlessly hit by the wind, which is, in its way, it's very wild, to be fair, quite relentless.
It's definitely relentless. It's not a bad coaster at all. In terms of the coaster layout, fantastic. I would just love it if they had different trains on. It's probably never going to happen. And maybe I'll get used to it. Next time I go back, maybe I won't sit in the back row. Maybe I'll try the front row and see if it's any better.
Definitely.
But yeah, that was just my experience of it. It was also the only time I saw a couple of guys not fit in the seats. So yeah, they weren't able to get the restraints down on that, and so they weren't able to ride. And I do feel like they were not like big guys, so I do feel they're quite restrictive restraints.
I didn't see any of that when I was there.
Yeah.
I've seen a few on other rides, such as the swing. Now, its name eludes me, but I saw that on there. But that's kind of the only time that I saw anyone kind of have to leave the ride because the restraints weren't coming down.
Yeah. Okay, that is the park's major coasters. Now, the other sort of standout attractions that people are talking about are the Gyro Swing, Gyro Spin, which is right next to Colossus, and again, goes in for that same sort of theming. It got me really excited for Invictus at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. So the Gyro Spin is taller than Invictus will be, slightly. It's not an Intamin model, so it doesn't have just lap restraints, it has over-the-shoulder restraints. But it was so much fun.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
So, such a good ride.
The fact when it fully gets going as well, you're so high, you're looking down over the park going, wow, this is high. And when it comes down, because of where it's situated with Colossus and the theming around it, you're actually quite close to a building when you come down as well. So you're like, I hope this has been measured correctly.
Yeah, it is. And it's such a weird thing to go from literally looking up directly up at the sky and the moon to looking straight down. I really loved it. The only thing I'd say was quite a slow loading process on that.
Yeah, I kind of felt when I went, it took some time. I don't know as well, because I think I went on it about the same time as you did, so later on in the opening time. So you don't know if they're just kind of slowing down before they finish like the park. But I think it's the automatic restraints coming down. I still feel there's a bit of the people who are rocking up aren't quite appreciative of how coasters and how these devices are loaded and how they work. So there's still a bit of confusion there, which adds to this delay.
Yeah, it's still a great ride. Don't get me wrong, and Evictus is going to be fantastic. And I'm so glad they put one in this park because it fits beautifully. And actually, you do see sort of these type of gyrospins in Saudi quite a lot at smaller parks. So to have a big proper one, I think is quite cool. Obviously now we took our daughter with us. So a lot of the people who've been over have just concentrated on the big coasters, as you would, because they are all sort of individually breathtaking. But we had to go and do the kids stuff.
We were forced to. We have no under duress.
She starts complaining quite a lot if we don't go and do the kids stuff. So we did go and do that with her. You took her on there's a ladybird coaster.
Yes.
So a little sort of kiddie credit, which...
It's brilliant.
You did it 3 times with her.
Yeah.
I went on then afterwards, and she said, "I want to sit at the back." Obviously, been trained well. It took me by surprise how forceful the back was on it.
She even said, "Oh, makes my tummy feel a bit strange." It's like, good girl.
It's great.
It's awesome.
Much better than like your standard. It's not like a wacky worm credit. Like it's actually a decent kiddie coaster.
It's really well themed as well. The whole queue line, the whole coaster. It could do with going around twice, I think, for how long it takes to load with obviously kids. But it's brilliant.
Yeah, really good. And in that area where it sits, there are quite a few little kids rides. So this is in like the Twilight Garden. I'm really rubbish at remembering the names of the areas, but it's like the gardens area. So there is a dark ride called the Enchanted Greenhouse, which, again, I was surprised by. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. And I think that would slot into Efteling tomorrow. Like, it's... really, really good. Trackless dark ride with you've got like
a spray gun.
Yeah, like a hose with a spray gun, and you have to go and like water the garden creatures, sort of thing. So it's mostly screen based. There are some actual animatronics in there as well, which you interact with, which is quite cool. But I found the watering gun to screen to be really responsive.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, unlike somewhere you're trying to shoot the screen and you're wondering where you're going.
Yeah,
this was brilliant. And yeah, like you say, the animatronics, the theming was beautiful inside. The whole pre-show into the ride as well was great.
Very Symbolica-esque.
Yeah, definitely.
There's definitely hints, like not quite as elaborate as Symbolica, and you don't get your different options or anything like that. But I expected far less, so I was pleased with that one.
For something that little ones can go on as well, it's incredible. It's like, so you've got the variety of rides as well. And
there was literally nobody on it. They've got a big queue line in there. There was nobody on it, and it kind of made me sad because I thought people are missing out on this. I don't think they realise what it is, and they're not riding it. So I hope that word starts to spread and people start to ride it more, because anyone who's visiting the park with children, or even without children, to be honest, will really, really enjoy that one. Yeah, it was beautiful. In the same area, there is a Jeep ride, which, again, looks elaborately themed. Now, unfortunately, we haven't been on it. It wasn't open when you went for your first visit.
It was down.
And it was down when we went. I'm sure I saw it operating at one point, but maybe not. When there was the time for us to ride it, or when we thought we were going to ride it, it wasn't open, and it didn't seem to reopen. Which is a shame, because it does look great. It looks very elaborate, and they've got like a whole load of merch for it, which again you wouldn't expect for a kiddie ride.
They've got merch everywhere, like every ride, every area you look, they've got merch for it. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
and it's all individually themed. It's not the same stuff.
Loads and loads of like options. But yeah, we didn't get to go on that one, and there was a little plane sort of ride.
Like a swing, the swing.
Plane swings, yeah. You didn't go on that?
No, not on my own.
With Emmy.
Oh, I did not go on it, I promise. I probably should have done. But no, that was down again when we went with Emmy. And that didn't come up all night either, because we kept popping back and having a look at that.
We visited the park, we were 4 weeks into it opening, so whether it's still teething problems, whether it had just been open the day before, or we were just unlucky on the day we went, I don't know. The other area that's quite good for kids is Discovery Springs. The big attractions in this area are probably the Big Splash, which again wasn't operating on the day that we went, but I wasn't going to go on that anyway. That's basically combining a drop tower with getting wet. Like, nah. But the log flume, Zuma Fluma.
The log flume's awesome.
I'm so glad that they put in a traditional log flume. They have got a water coaster as well, but the traditional log flume, yes, it's coming back, and actually it does feel like a modern interpretation of it, because it's like, it knocks you around.
Yeah, it's like a wacky river almost, isn't it?
It's like a rapids.
A rapids with a log flume.
Yeah, you're in a log. But yeah, it's quite wild. 2 drops in it, one smaller one, and then one which I hadn't even seen it before I'd got on it. I just did the one little drop and I thought, oh, that was nice. And then I was suddenly going up a massive log flume hill. So yeah, decent big log flume drop at the end as well. And I really enjoyed that. And she would have been tall enough to ride that, but she didn't want to.
She's not a fan of a log flume.
She went on the one at Plopsaland and it put her off.
That was a bit of a tall drop. But again, operates at night. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was so weird. I was on it at like 10:15 in the evening. And I was like, why am I on a log flume now? But, you're in Saudi, it's still warm, you've got to do it. And you saw in this area a splash battle.
Yes.
Spinning barrels.
Yeah.
Hybrid.
2 spinning areas of barrels. Each individual barrel spins as well.
Yeah.
And obviously they have water cannons on them as well. So it's just chaos of water going everywhere. Clearly do not get too close to that, because you're going to get soaked. Unless it's Riyadh Summer, and then stand close to it.
You will want
and then go and stand
soaked
near the Big Splash as well.
They didn't have, disappointingly, the cannons for the spectators to squirt the people on the ride.
Which is ridiculous. It's like, who has done this?
You've also got Sea Stallion in this area. Now, again, this is one which she wanted to go on, but she was too small. You had to be 1.2, and she's just about 1.05. So I haven't ridden that, but you rode it on your own.
Yes.
When you went.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Like, single rail coaster, you get to control the speed, you've got a little boost. So clearly I held it fully open and just went as quick as I could. But clearly you can only go as fast as you can go. Again, great theming, queue line was great. A really nice smooth coaster. I think for little ones, when she's big enough, she'd love that.
Yeah. She'll definitely want to go on it. And next time we go back, I'll just go and ride it by myself. But we'd started to run out of time by this point, which I think from the videos you think, oh, it's not a huge park, but there is a lot in there. It's not spread out, so it's easy to get around. But I don't know, time just kind of ran away with us. And yeah, I just didn't get a chance to go on it. Or the water coaster, but that's basically exactly the same as at Europa Park. So I feel like I haven't really missed anything with that. And we will be going back, so I'll ride that then. But it's basically a clone exactly of that. As you go back into the Citadel's like the central area, which all of these lands sort of spur off. There is a nebula in there, which again we didn't do. I've done the one at Drayton Manor, and like great fun little rides. But again, running out of time, I didn't really want to wait for the loading process on those because.
Is that the interlocking one?
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Every time my head's like, how does this work? But it's just a slow loader, isn't it? And obviously the land we haven't really touched on contains the beast that is Falcons. But before we talk about that, let's talk about Sirocco Tower, which wasn't open the first time you went, wasn't open when a lot of the theme park enthusiasts who've done vlogs and content went. It got commissioned late. But it is now open, and I wasn't going to go on it because I hate drop towers.
So dispatched me.
You thought it wasn't as forceful as you were expecting?
No, it's this huge drop tower which makes a lot of noise. Again, theming's great in there. You go through the queue line. I actually think the theming on Scirocco Tower is possibly better than Falcons, which is interesting.
Controversial.
Yeah, again, onto it. Some spoilers. So when you load, again, loading didn't take too long. The floor then opens up and you drop into the kind of basement, if you would, of Scirocco Tower before you get boosted up. Now, the boost is cool and you go up high. So for people who are scared of heights or a little bit shy, let's say, of heights, that is going to be pretty scary. But the view is incredible, like all the way to the end. You can see where the F1 track is. Again, if you want a view, it's brilliant. And then you go into the drop because you get launched and then dropped and then kind of go up again and then back again. Now, the drop, I've done drop towers in the past, and which one would I say is the best? So I would say probably the best one I've been on is the one at Fantasia Land, the internal one.
Oh, yeah, Mystery Tower.
Yeah, where you get a...
Mystery Castle, sorry.
Mystery Tower.
Mystery Castle.
You get a proper sensation of free fall. On Scirocco Tower, I just didn't feel like it. It felt like you were being held and lowered. Obviously very quickly,
yeah.
But you didn't get that stomach in the back of your throat, oh, I'm falling, I'm going to die type feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me, it's a bit weird. But yeah, so it wasn't that kind of fear-inducing drop tower that you'd expect. Again, very good, but not as good as I expected.
The height was fear-inducing enough for me. Right, I am keeping an eye on the clock and we're going to run out of time, so very quickly. Adrenaline is also in that area. I didn't ride it, you did.
I did.
A bit of a nothing.
Yeah. A kiddie coaster, kind of teenage coaster.
Yeah, a good
nice
sort of starter inverted coaster.
Yeah, inverted, underslung, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
I don't know the terms.
Inverted.
But yeah, very nice, but very short.
Yeah. And obviously Falcons. So let's talk about Falcons very quickly. I'm sure you've seen all the POVs. If you haven't, I've got some, so go and check them out on our social page. Just relentlessly fast. Like, but no POV can explain to you what your face is doing on that ride.
As we said at the start, everything in this park, the structure, the size of it, you can't get the appreciation of just how big it is, how fast things are going. And I think that's where a lot of the POVs are falling down. And people are like, oh, it's not very fast. It's like, it is, but you are travelling such a far distance. You've got a lot happening that you just can't appreciate when you're seeing it through a screen.
It's like when you're on a plane and you look out the window.
Yeah.
I'm not going very
fast. You are. Yeah.
That launch off the bottom of that drop. Well, firstly, at the top of the drop, it's silent. And I mean, I rode it twice. You've ridden it, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times now.
I've lost count, but yeah.
And
plenty.
It's always the same. Yeah. Everyone goes silent. It's eerie. And as soon as you release, someone starts screaming, the whole train starts screaming, and you go.
And then you get the noise.
And and it.
How's it go?
It's like nothing you can possibly imagine. Like, we've done Red Force. I've never been lucky enough to do Dragster or King Dakar or Top Thrill 2, but we did Red Force at Port Ventura, and it's just incomparable. It's you're going up that camelback thinking the track's never going to end. It just goes.
I'm not going to stay on the track. I'm just going to keep going into the stratosphere.
It's just insane. I remember nothing about dropping down that camelback the first time. I was so overwhelmed. And then the last bit of the coaster is, if that was the only part of the coaster, you'd say it was a great coaster. It's so fast. There's so many near misses.
Yeah. Because you're going so fast, like those turns, even though they look really slack on videos, you are actually being forced into the seat because of the speed.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You cannot get it from the video. You also can't get the scale of it from the video when you're stood up next to it. Just, the thing's insane. The queues wise, so we did use our fast pass. Obviously, we got in about 10 minutes with a fast pass.
It wasn't long at all.
The longest advertised queue I saw was, I think, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Whether it actually was 90 minutes or not, I don't know, because obviously I didn't wait in that. But I can tell you that towards the end of the night, that was down to 20 minutes, which for the world's tallest, fastest, longest roller coaster, which is only 4 weeks old, I think I would take a 20-minute queue. I think I'd take a 90-minute queue, to be honest. If it was at Alton Towers, I think you'd be on a 3-hour queue all season.
On a normal day.
Yeah. Not on a weekend, which is when we went. So, yeah, it's a beast. We have loads of content about Falcons Fly on our social pages. So if you haven't seen that, rather than us just talking about it, go and watch some of the videos. We've done some G-force comparisons. We've compared it to Voltron. And we've got front POVs, back POVs. You can really, hopefully, try and get a sense of it. But like we said, it's so hard. But I think if either of us had come off underwhelmed, we'd have said it. You came off it and you were like...
Well, I had to go again. I was like, oh, what just happened? Right, I'm off again.
It is like that.
I just kept lapping it until I appreciated what was going on.
You very much feel like what just happened when you get off it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's really addicting as well. It's like you want to chase that feeling again. So it's an odd one. Dispatches are a little bit slow. There is a process where they have to cool the wheels down, which I think takes about 4 minutes per train. So they were using both sides of the station, so it should get into a nice rhythm. They're not running all the trains at the moment, but there are plans to in the next couple of weeks. So I think they'll get into a rhythm with it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that will all iron out. But it wasn't like I was sat on a train for ages waiting for a dispatch. It was just a bit long. It's longer than you'd expect at Europa Park. But
again, I think it's that, going back to what I said earlier, just people not understanding how to get in, how to do the restraint. They get you to lift your legs up so they can get the straight restraint to properly lock in as well. So it's just, once that improves and people get it, ops will be quicker.
Elsewhere in the park, we had some lovely Chinese food, which was, I think, really good value at £12 for a set menu. And it was like, you could have got it from any Chinese. Like it wasn't like theme park food at all.
No.
So that was really nice. Some really nice coffees. There's so many food places to explore. Next time we go, we'll probably go and try somewhere else, but that's just where we went this time. You had pizza the last time and that was decent.
Again, really good. Like the food for a theme park, brilliant. I could not fault it.
And the staff as well. I think that is a huge difference that you'll notice from especially UK parks. I imagine US Six Flags parks, again, suffer from the same thing of staff who can sometimes be slightly disinterested. You will not get that at Qiddiya. It's a very Saudi thing to be extra hospitable, and you definitely notice it. And all the staff that we encountered were absolutely brilliant, whether they were ride-ups or in the restaurants or in the stores or working the games or whatever. They were just so full of enthusiasm.
They just want to engage with you as well, don't they?
Yeah, and it's like a genuine thing. And they're all a little bit older, I'd say, than you do generally find in theme parks. It's not sort of it's not teenagers. It's people who are going to obviously try and do this for a vocation. And I think that does make a big difference. There is so much more that we could say about this theme park, but I am conscious of the time, and your time and our time. We will be going back. We have become annual pass holders for Six Flags Qiddiya City, so we will be back as things change, as things develop. If things develop or change, we can come back and we can tell you all about it. If you haven't already, go and check out the vlog, which I've stuck up on the YouTube channel. That will give you some more bits, our thoughts from the day, and obviously show you what we saw as well on the day. And hopefully you'll enjoy that. And next time we go back, I'll try and capture a little bit more as well, and we can see what has changed. Thank you for joining me.
That's all right.
It's nice of you to actually talk to me for once.
Well, it's nice to get a word in edgeways.
If you haven't already, do hit subscribe so that you get a notification whenever we release a new episode of Parkcast. Like I said, we try and be here every week, but sometimes we can't be, so then you'll never miss an episode. And if you'd like to leave us a review, you can do that. And if you don't already, go and follow us on our Instagram and TikTok channels, because there's loads of content getting posted up there as well. Until the next time, though, we've been Parkcast.
Parkcast, the UK's original theme park podcast.